Hello, dear students. How are you today? I hope that you are fine and that you are staying safe. My name is Yvette. Are you ready for our English lesson? Today, our lesson is Looking Back, Let's Talk, Grade 5, Module 2. In today's lesson, we will talk about ability in the past. But before we start, I would like to remind you of our classroom rules. I need you to sit properly and to listen very well. Let's start. Look at this. We have 3 words and 3 pictures. Let us match the words with the suitable pictures. Skateboard, skis, and rollerblades. Well, let's look at picture number 1. What are these? What do you think these are? Skateboard, skis, or rollerblades? What do you think? Yes, these are rollerblades. Very good. What about this? What is this? Is it a skateboard or skis? Yes, this is a skateboard. And these are skis. So, rollerblades, skateboard, skis. Very good. Now it is reading time. Could you rollerblade when you were 6 years old? Again. Could you rollerblade when you were 6 years old? No, I couldn't. So, what do you think? Could he rollerblade when he was 6? Yes or no? Very good. No, I couldn't. He couldn't rollerblade when he was 6. Check this out. When you want to ask about ability in the past, you need to start your question with could. Could you? And then your answer, I couldn't. No, I couldn't. Could you skateboard when you were 10 years old? Again. Could you skateboard when you were 10 years old? What do you think? Could he skateboard? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, I could. Again. In the question, we used could you. Could you skateboard? And in the answer, yes, I could. Could you ski when you were 8 years old? Could you ski when you were 8 years old? What do you think? Could she or couldn't she? That's it. No, I couldn't. Again. In order to ask about something that you could do in the past, we start our question with could you? And the answer would be yes, I could or no, I couldn't. Now, let us practice. Answer with yes, I could or no, I couldn't. Could you play the piano when you were 10 years old? Look at the girl. What do you think? Could she play the piano when she was 10 years old? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, I could. So, could you play the piano when you were 10 years old? Yes, I could. Could you ride your bicycle when you were 3 years old? Again. Could you ride your bicycle when you were 3 years old? What do you think? Could he ride the bicycle or couldn't he? I can see that he fell down. So, what should we say here? Yes, I could or no, I couldn't? Yes, no, I couldn't. Very good. Could you speak English when you were 10 years old? Again. Could you speak English when you were 10 years old? What do you think? Yes or no? Could he or couldn't he? Yes. So, what would his answer be? Yes, I could or no, I couldn't. Very good. Yes, I could. Great job. So, dear students, what you need to do is the following. You need to listen very well and then circle what he could do in the past. Are you ready? Let's start. When I was 7 years old, I couldn't drive a car, but I could ride a bicycle. Again. When I was 7 years old, I couldn't drive a car, but I could ride a bicycle. So, which picture are we supposed to circle? The car or the bicycle? What could he do? Let's see. I couldn't drive. I could ride. So, what could he do? Yes, he could ride a bicycle. He couldn't drive a car. Very good. Let's listen again. Focus very well. When I was 5 years old, I could play football, but I couldn't play tennis. Again. When I was 5 years old, I could play football, but I couldn't play tennis. So, what should we circle? The football or the tennis rackets? Let's see. I could play football. I couldn't play tennis. So, yes, we need to circle the football. He could play football. He couldn't play tennis. Listen very well. When I was 4 years old, I couldn't write and I couldn't read, but I could talk. Again. When I was 4 years old, I couldn't write and I couldn't read, but I could talk. So, what do you think? Could he write? Could he read? Or could he talk? Let's see. I couldn't write. I couldn't read, but I could talk. Yes, so we need to circle this picture. He couldn't write, he couldn't read, he could talk. Very well. Now it's your turn. What could you and couldn't you do? I need you to write 2 things you could do when you were 5 years old and 2 things you couldn't do. So, you need to start with, when I was 5 years old, I could. What could you do? Write 2 things here. And then, when I was 5 years old, I couldn't. What couldn't you do? Write 2 things right here. Okay? So, dear students, that was our lesson for today. Until we meet again, don't forget to stay safe. Goodbye.